Hi, everyone. Welcome. We'll get it kicked off in a couple of minutes. I would love to see where everyone is coming from. If you want to put it in the chat where you're located, we're excited to have you today. We have people from all over. I'd love to see it. We have someone from London. Nice.
So far, we've got the UK.
Yeah.
Farthest east.
That's awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Jenny, and I am with the Elevate Technology User Group. Thank you for joining today for the Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift Community Hour. As a reminder, this is an independent customer-led user group for Dell Technology employees on the multi-cloud journey to modernize their IT infrastructure. We bring customers, partners, and employees together to share best practices and network with industry experts. We do host a variety of events, so follow us on LinkedIn and keep an update on our emails to see what we have up and coming. Today, we'll be using the Q&A function as well as the chat function. So if you have any questions for our panelists, feel free to ask questions there. We'll be monitoring that. We'll also be having some polling questions very shortly after we kick it off. But with that being said, thank you to all of our sponsors, Dell Technologies, Red Hat, and Intel. And then I'll pass it over to you, David.
Thanks, Jenny, and welcome everybody. Panelists, let me get a thumbs up, make sure the audio check's good. All right, fantastic. Welcome, and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining for another Elevate Technology User Group Community Hour. We've got a fantastic panel today. For some of you, you may have been at Red Hat Summit in Denver earlier this year. We had our first ever Elevate User Group meeting in conjunction with Red Hat Summit. It was fantastic. This panel we brought back to get out to a broader audience for those of you who couldn't make it to Denver in earlier this year. Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift is a hot topic. It's a hot topic amongst members. It's moving fast, and we brought everyone back together to talk about that for you and to take your questions and get your thoughts on the subject. From Dell, we've got Travis Zhao, Director of Product Management for Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift. From Red Hat, we've got Kevin Tunks, Ecosystem Global Go-to-Market Leader for Red Hat OpenShift. And from Kyndryl, Levi Norman, Director, Private Cloud and Hybrid Cloud Services. And moderating today will be Jake Kirby, Red Hat Business Development Management or Manager at Dell Technologies. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. This is going to be a great panel. I want to encourage, before we start, I think we've got some polls that we could put up and get everybody warmed up. I want to thank our sponsors again, Dell Technologies, Red Hat, and Intel. Folks, please engage with us. Use the chat to weigh in on your thoughts. Use the Q&A function to ask questions. We'll be monitoring throughout. We've got a lot of experts here to answer your questions for you, and you've got great resource in front of you on the panel. Thanks for joining us. Jake, you ready to go?
Yeah, let's kick it off. So,
all right, let's do it.
Thanks for joining us. Appreciate the time. I'm going to say it again, use the Q&A, not only just the panel that we have a few folks in the background also watching for questions. So we're here to make this about you. Oh, sorry, the polls just popped up. So there'll be a couple questions. Please take the time and answer them. That's going to help us kind of cater what we talk about throughout today. But to kick it off, we've assembled a great group of folks. We already had a quick intro from them. We're going to focus on our Apex Cloud Platform for Red Hat OpenShift. You'll hear that come out a few times today. And really that partnership between Dell Technologies and Red Hat that drove into the innovation of this product, and our early adopters and our supported community through Kyndryl, and how they're going to utilize this platform within what they're offering to their extended customers. So I want to take a chance for everyone to introduce themselves. I'm going to pass it to Levi to share a little about Kyndryl and your role.
Oh, thank you. So Kyndryl, for those of you that don't know, is kind of a global service provider, managed service provider. We were originally with IBM. We're probably one of the world's most well-funded startups. When we came out of IBM, we were pushing about $18 billion a year in revenue. and highly profitable, but it just wasn't the strategic direction that IBM was headed. So we got spun out to be a standalone company that became Kyndryl. We are about 80,000 people strong, and currently, as of 2024, about 16 billion in revenue. We're broken up across practices, digital workplace services, security practice, network and edge, apps, data and AI, core enterprise, and Z, and then what the practice that I sit within, which is cloud. And then we have, kind of an advisory practice that consults across all of them to support our clients. Excited to be here. Happy to have this conversation, and thank you for inviting me back. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy to have you. Kevin, a little bit about yourself and the role at Red Hat.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. It's so good to be here with all of you guys again, too. So I am our global go-to-market leader for our ecosystem group. So for OpenShift, for our OpenShift platform and all that entails. So I work with a broad set of partners. Dell is right in there, Kyndryl's right in there, and we help bring all the power of OpenShift to customers and make that way easier to do it with our partner group. So excited to be here, excited to talk through this because this is a really important way that we're solving issues.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. And Travis, following up with you.
Hey, thank you, Jake. I'm Travis Zhao. I'm the director of product management, actually responsible for, defining, the product. We work with the partners like Kyndryl and Red Hat all the time, right, to define and collecting customer requirements and then basically making them into the engineering and then build a roadmap and deliver the product. So we're really the owner of the product from Dell perspective.
Perfect. Thank you. So as we've mentioned a few times, we're going to continue to double click into our Apex Cloud platform for OpenShift and the features that we've implemented into this product. So to kick it off, Travis, can you go into a little bit more detail of what Apex Cloud platform is and really what's separating it from everything else within the ecosystem today?
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Jacob, last year, we announced and launched our Apex Cloud Platform family, which include like 3 different ecosystems, Red Hat and VMware and Microsoft, right? And Apex Cloud Platform really provide that integrated full stack automation for multiple cloud and Kubernetes orchestration stack, including the Red Hat OpenShift. The OpenShift platform is really the first integrated infrastructure purposely built for Red Hat. This is actually joint engineering with Red Hat. It transforms how organizations deploy and manage and run the containers alongside of virtual machines, on-prem and actually on the bare metal. So this is actually a OpenShift on bare metal solution that allows you to actually run content directly on bare metal instead of paying another layer of virtualization tax. I know a lot of you actually, I know this is coming from a VxRail and that background. Apex Cloud Platform for OpenShift is really built very similarly to VxRail. The Apex Cloud Foundation software actually provides automated orchestration and management software, very similar to VxRail HCI system software, that actually vastly simplify deployment, day-to-day operation, and lifecycle management. The functionality that really differentiates VxRail with the rest of the VMware HCI offering is really about that full stack management. And now we're actually bringing that all the value of that kind of integrated solution now to the OpenShift Apex Cloud platform.
Awesome. So you touched a lot on that jointly engineered, that teamwork and synergy between Red Hat and Dell within this product. Kevin, can you go into a little more detail on how Red Hat brings into that engineering aspect?
Yeah, it's really been an amazing opportunity to partner again on this platform to really build out on a relationship that we've had for I think nearly 20 years with Dell. So it's a very deep relationship. We go a long way back, but by partnering around making this possible to build and run OpenShift on-prem, as Travis said, on bare metal, you just get this ability to deploy something way faster, 90% faster, and maintain and update it like 90% faster because of all the engineering and activity that we do behind the scenes. So today, most of our customers on-prem are deployed on top of a virtualization hypervisor. That's where they're running their container platform on one of the legacy, big incumbent providers. And so now with this, one of the things that it's doing is it's giving you the ability to say, hey, we still want to keep our legacy virtualization capabilities in play, our applications and the ecosystem that's built out on that. But we want that in the same plane as where we're going with containerized, modernized workloads. So now with what we're doing, we've made it easier because of that bare metal nature to run both virtualization. You don't have to manage or migrate or update apps right alongside that in that same platform that you're running containerized apps and AI-based apps. So it's been a really nice shift, and this co-engineered capability has really made that possible to bring that to a lot more customers in a much easier to run way.
No, that's great. And it's kind of a common trend. We're hearing how we're reducing cost and complexity, how we want to optimize these workloads on this platform and really enhance the security and governance within the processes that we built. But we talk about updates and streamlining this. Travis, can you go into a little bit more on how many actual hours went into what it takes to do this update and automated process?
Oh, absolutely, Jake. I mean, actually, this is really the best customer I have ever seen at Dell, right? The way when we say we're jointly engineered is really starting from very early stage, even before Red Hat released their product. So what basically does is that there's a CI/CD pipeline allow us to get all the pre-release code from Red Hat, and we're actually doing that level of testing and validation to making sure the full stack certified, validated, and making sure they're all good to go before we even release to the public, right? So when Red Hat released their code, you know that we've been testing this with Dell, right? All the Dell components and the storage to making sure they all work together. Every release, we spend thousands of hundreds of thousands of hours, engineering to making sure they're working together. And not only that, we all ship this list so that really at the time Red Hat releases, we're ready to go. So that's really the kind of partnership that we're having. And this really eliminated a lot of the manual testing customers normally need to perform before they upgrading their infrastructure. Because when they get the Red Hat update, right, they never tested with the Dell hardware, so they have to typically test them again by themselves. But with this partnership, we all do this, ahead of time for them.
No, that's great. And the poll results are even awesome. 86% of you are familiar with VxRail, which means you're familiar with our management suite and our operations suite that we've helped integrate into this Apex Cloud platform. So it's great to see that. Kind of talking into that subject, we've touched on just a little bit, but knowing the industry today and what's going on, we're seeing a lot of customers come to Dell, Red Hat, and Kyndryl looking for solutions for their virtualization. What's next? What's the future look like? What's modern virtualization look like today? So knowing OpenShift supports virtualization, Kevin, can you go a little bit deeper into what that means for OpenShift and VMs today?
Yeah, it's been a big shift, right? This is a technology and a capability that's been around in our portfolio for a long time. Virtualization as an operator is a function of OpenShift. It's not something that's separate. You don't have to buy it separately. It's a feature within the OpenShift portfolio overall. And what we've done is it's only available when you have a bare metal offering. So you got to be running on bare metal. That way you're not stacking virtualization on virtualization. There's performance loss when you do that. But if you have that bare metal offering, then you can run it right off. We're based on KVM and KubeVirt, which have been long-standing, very robust communities in around running virtualized workloads. So it's a very, very safe space, been around for a long time. Like 2007, Red Hat was a big part of standing up those communities in the first place. And so most other large organizations that have an alternative hypervisor are running KVM and or KubeVirt at the core of what they're doing. So it's mature technology. With what we're doing with that is now you can run and with tooling that we've put out with the migration toolkit for virtualization, with our consulting efforts, with our partner consulting efforts, you can very quickly deploy onto Dell Apex and then move and migrate applications very, very quickly, not just Linux-based applications, but Windows-based applications as well. So you get a suite that you can define what hypervisor you want to be on. You have ability to run that with OpenShift Virtualization right alongside your containerized workloads and your AI workloads. So it gives you this single common plane to operate it. And you can do that certainly on-prem or at the heavy edge with Dell Apex, which we think is where most people will go with their data center modernizations. And I see that, almost 2/3 of you guys that answered are refreshing a pretty significant portion at 20 to 30% of your overall hardware on a yearly basis. That's where we think this really fits with Dell Apex. But then you have a consistent plane where if you're running in AWS, if you're running with repurposed hardware, you've got consistency across all those different planes, but you can really accelerate it and simplify it on the Dell Apex side.
Oh, that's great. Travis, do you want to double click into how our Apex Cloud platform just continues to provide additional support for the virtualization story coming from Red Hat?
Yes. So if you look at Apex Cloud Platform, is really that we're providing it as an OpenShift virtualization ready. So not only that we're doing that pretty much when we set it up, so that we actually automate the enablement of the OpenShift virtualization once it's deployed. So it's be ready. So make it ready to accept customer virtualization's workload as well as a container altogether, right? And Kevin, I think there's another use case I see here is that. With this architecture, right? When you run the OpenShift virtualization on bare metal, you also have a chance to make your container running on bare metal, as well as if you want to keep those containers as a virtual, you can actually say, hey, you know what? I'm just running OpenShift as a hypervisor, like a VMware, but all my containers and then VM are stay virtual. You have that choice. So you have a choice of running the container on bare metal or running on top of those the OpenShift virtualization as a virtual OpenShift. So you have lots of different capabilities there, right? And also with the introduction of the hosted control plane, that is really a new feature in OpenShift that basically help you to set up infrastructure, allow you to consolidate all the management control planes into a single cluster, and then your workload cluster can be separated even as a virtual or physical. That basically give you a lot of flexibility to set up the infrastructure very flexibly, right? And Dell Apex Cloud Platform actually did the integration with the hosted control plane so that you can actually leverage that technology and do all the management. I want to have to say, because everybody here are kind of familiar with VMware, if you look at the hosted control plane plus the OpenShift ACM, which is their multi-cluster management, it's kind of similar to what VCA provided for VMware, where you can separate the workload domain with the management domain to build out your large-scale infrastructure to host your virtualization and container workload. And not only about this, but also Apex Cloud Platform provides a flexible storage, because when you increase the type of workload you have, we must supply, or you are requiring different kinds of storage for different kind of workload. So you can actually build multiple clusters. One of them using PowerFlash, some of them using object scale. So basically the choice that Dell can provide in terms of storage support are helping you to run the OpenShift platform as really the best platform for VM as well as a container.
Thanks, Travis. Kevin, he brought up something that I think it would be worth us kind of going into a little more, is the hosted control plane. And maybe you can go through how that technology for existing OpenShift customers? And you mentioned the virtualization tax earlier, but what is that adoption to bare metal hosted control planes and your virtual workers look like today?
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful capability, right? As we've moved this forward, and we know that customers, particularly like central IT type customers that have a number of customers within their organization, different business lines, different business divisions. If you're in the government space, it might be different agencies that are being supported by a central agency. But think about that central IT organization that's really there providing services to a number of other internal customers. That's what hosted control planes really becomes about. It becomes that ability to create that virtualization layer that separates out different spaces for different customers, but it's all software defined. So you have the boundary capabilities established, and you can run in those boundaries both legacy virtualized applications, but then partial, modernized components to those if you're modernizing them, so you can run containers. That includes AI containers that are plugging in new capability into those legacy business application environments. So it gives you this control and this separation of your control and infrastructure plane from your worker plane in that virtual way that gives you a lot of resource capability. A lot of shared resource capability that's really powerful. And I think it is consistent in a lot of ways with the principles that had been adopted before with legacy providers. But it takes it a step further because now you've got that containerization and the AI capabilities right next to what you're doing. So it really drives it as much more of a DevSecOps or CI/CD oriented play for both your infrastructure and your application. So that's really where those have driven things forward pretty quickly.
Well, that's great. Appreciate that. So we've talked about the offerings. We've clicked into Red Hat OpenShift and its additional features. I know we're going to go into the AI conversation here in a little bit. Levi, I wanted to open it up to you and kind of go into, Kyndryl's such a strong partner for both Dell and Red Hat. Love to get a little bit more of kind of your opinion on here and how you see us as a partner within this with Apex Cloud Platform for you and your customers.
Yeah, you bet. So one, we are very deeply partnered with both Dell and Red Hat and have been for quite a long time. I mean, Kyndryl's primary strategy, it's our 3A strategy, right? Our accounts, our advanced delivery and our alliances, and clearly Red Hat and Dell are very critical alliances for us. But then from an account perspective, high quality accounts that we can then, do advanced delivery upon with tools like this that they're working in the background to bring together. We don't create things. We support these clients through this. And this type of offering right now is extremely, extremely compelling to our customer base. There's this there's a couple of tipping point moments in the market right now. And you touched on one and you said, hey, we're going to get into the AI part of the discussion. That's one of them. AI is a big tipping point moment in the marketplace due to where it is along the maturity spectrum, right? It's coming into its own. It's being shown to be useful. We know that we're going to need platforms that are fully integrated and intentfully engineered to get the most out of this, right? The first waves of that were, hey, what do we do with these little pools of data? How do we connect those together? Do we create data lakes? Can we create data oceans? Dell and their storage portfolio was integral in connecting all of those together. How do we create a platform to manage all of this? Red Hat helps create that platform for us, right? The other kind of compelling event in the marketplace is hybrid. So from our perspective, our clients aren't looking to have just a single point solution. Kevin touched on it a little bit when he said, with the hosted control plane, you have an entity inside of these larger businesses that are service organizations to the business to allow them to go off and achieve their goals. So how do we deliver pieces to them that support that initiative for them as well? The big compelling event in the market right now, obviously, it's the acquisition of that other company, and that has really kicked the door open kick the door open for Red Hat to really make a play and say, hey, we actually can support you in a more modernized way. We can help you deploy. We're very deeply rooted in the history of cloud, and so we're naturally positioned to support this hybrid tipping point motion that's happening in the market as well. So our clients come to us and say, look, we're looking for solutions. Here are our business goals, and we need a solution, not a widget. If it's a widget, we're not talking to you. We can go directly to that partner and grab that widget ourselves. So if we have a like and replace, we can go take care of that. But along the lines of, how we support our accounts, right, our 3A strategy, and I mentioned at the top when I was introducing myself, it's our consult. We get in there and we ask these clients, what are their long-term goals? And how can we set up an IT infrastructure that supports that they don't have to manage as deeply, right? The age-old, story in the IT world is the budgets are shrinking and we don't have as many resources as we used to. Okay, so how do we help offset some of that and give them, thoughtful solutions that involve components like, Apex Cloud Platform with OpenShift. These type of platforms really address what our clients are trying to achieve in terms of their strategic goals. We don't want this to be just an expense center anymore in terms of our IT budgets. We want this to be something that supports the core focus of our business so that we can support our clients. So I'm not sure if I fully answered your question, if I rambled on too long there.
No, you're hitting it. And I would say maybe if you can click just a little bit deeper, you kind of mentioned what your customers are looking for, and they want solutions, not widgets. Maybe into, how is Apex Cloud Platform for OpenShift really answering that solution message? What gets you excited about positioning that as a turnkey?
I like engineered solutions because I think they're very, very thoughtful. And when you have a company like Dell that's pulling together a platform that can scale, that is very resilient, that is highly secure, and then you layer on, the intelligence of Red Hat on top of that, we can show them where that fits on-prem. We can show them how to scale that out into the cloud and how to marry the two together using control planes in between. So what it really does is it doesn't leave it up to our client to sort that out. That's a 20-year-old thought process. Here, take these widgets and you sort it out on your end and create spaghetti code around it. Engineered systems does away with all of that in the sense that it's tested between these two titans of industry. They know that it works. They know that it's secure. They know that they can support it over the long haul. We'll come in and support it as well. I mean, we can be a traditional service provider and come in and manage the mess for less, but we would like to carry you on a modernization journey. And this type of technology allows us to get there because of the thoughtful engineering and Q&A work, the quality assurance work that comes in behind it. So really, it does several things. And again, this is always good marketing, right? It reduces cost and complexity, but it's true. It really is true because they've simplified the process and they've focused it in an intentful area, right? So if we come in and we consult with our client and we understand what their objectives are, now we can deliver a thoughtful and focused solution and say, well, this right here will scale with and grow with your business. And again, it's from two titans of industry, which allows us to kind of really think about the workloads that we're going to drop on top of it. They're intentful workloads that go on an intentfully designed set of systems. And then, of course, either between our security practice or the security that's naturally built into this technology, we can secure the data flow and the traffic and the transactions that happen across these platforms. To our client base, these type of systems, coupled with us helping advise them through what they're trying to accomplish in terms of growth for their own business, if it's not a perfect marriage, it's a really strong engagement or good dating. But I don't want to use the cliche too much, but it is a perfect marriage. It really is across the technologies and the way that we approach our clients. So
no, that's great.
It's been very well received thus far.
It's exciting for us, right? We have Dell, we have Red Hat, building this solution that we think is going to answer our customer needs, then to have you as a partner be able to come in and relay that it's working. This is what we're seeing out there. So you brought up workloads, so this is a great time to kind of pivot into what we're doing. We've talked about the cloud native, the container solutions. We talked about virtualization, how we can start that process into modernizing your VMs to operate in that cloud native approach. Let's take a little bit of time to talk about AI. I think we got about 15, 20 minutes left here. So I think this is a great segue into that. Travis, we did announce a reference design around OpenShift AI with Apex Cloud Platform. Can you go a little bit into what we did there and how that works?
Oh, absolutely. The OpenShift Apex Cloud Platform OpenShift is really perfect for supporting your inferencing needs, right? With the number of available GPUs and CPUs that are available from NVIDIA and Intel, it is ideal for stage your AI workload, especially when paired with OpenShift AI. So we are actually expanding the range of AI, the GPUs availability onto the Apex Cloud Platform by introducing NVIDIA L40 in May. And then regardless of the size, AI solutions have varying storage requirements as well, right? So like I talked about in general, we have lots of different storage endpoints that allow you to optimize your AI workload. Depends on the type of storage. I know OpenShift AI actually have to consume object storage, right? And also you have many other work using the block storage. So we actually provide object and block as we go. And then we're actually introducing more storage as we go. But in general, that basically the GPU, CPU, as well as the storage will give you all kinds of different choice to run your AI workload. And we did a bunch of, I think last time in May, we announced a couple of the DVDs, this Dell validated design on OpenShift platform, on the ACP platform. One of them is we call it it actually deploying a digital assistant utilizing a large language model and retrieval augmented generation framework and improve that to from a 7 billion parameter model to a 13 billion parameter model. And I'm also excited to basically introduce a new solution back in May that uses AI to achieve automated speech recognition and test to speech capability. This innovation design is actually extending the power of a Red Hat OpenShift AI as well on Apex Cloud Platform with NVIDIA Levi, a microservices that builds a GPU accelerated speech AI application. So we kind of have a different kinds of DVDs using the Apex Cloud Platform for OpenShift to support your AI workload.
Well, that's awesome. And just some incredible use cases we've seen out in our field and our customers using these language models and these language translations for public entities that have multiple languages they support within their infrastructure. So it's been great seeing it in real life. We're talking about OpenShift AI. Maybe Kevin, if you can go into a little bit of what the power of that tool and what Red Hat brings to the table in the AI industry.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate how Travis just framed this up too, right? It's nice to have hardware appliance tooling that doesn't lock you into just a single use case. You have this ability to use this hardware to do legacy applications, container applications, AI-based applications. I love the simplicity of that, the flexibility of that, because it keeps choice in the power of your hands. And so from an AI perspective, that becomes really important to Red Hat's story because we do support several different approaches. We support an approach where we're really talking about running and hosting your own AI tooling. So if you want to put a factory together and plug in components from lots of different third parties and build your own tool suite around it, you can do that. You can go all the way to the far end of that and say, hey, I want a really simplified tooling suite that's very concise. And so Watson AI Watson XAI is a great all the way solution that you can run on Dell Apex as well. So you've got these two poles that really there. OpenShift AI sits in the middle of all of that and really helps facilitate the ability to refine models, host and refine models, and then serve up and deploy those models for use and consumption in a very controlled way. So it is an operator. It's a workload that sits on top of OpenShift that you can leverage to run and power and retrain and observe and refine your models that you've brought into this environment. So it becomes a pretty powerful capability to serve up that space and then tie and integrate it into all those third-party ISV tools, into big vertical tools, and into your legacy or new applications that you're running to power your business. So OpenShift AI it's not so much about building original algorithms. It's about taking, refining, and then delivering those AI capabilities at an enterprise scale. I like to talk about it as it's moving from science fiction of AI to science fact of AI. It's moving those into that enterprise control that we've really done to help move the industry forward around maturing the governance process, maturing the deployment process, and reducing that friction between concept of AI and production of AI value.
Well, that's great. Way to just explain the power of what OpenShift AI is bringing to the table. There was a question in the chat about simple Gen AI use cases and if we have the ability to demo it. I know we have those DVDs. I believe they're published publicly. Travis, I don't know if you want to touch on it really quick on what we have, and I believe we could put the links in the chat as well.
Yeah, I think yeah, we'll put the link in the chat on those DVDs. Yes.
Perfect. Kevin, really quick, I always like to make a plug because I'm a big Ansible fan. Can you touch a little bit on kind of the Lightspeed integration, the use case of OpenShift AI, and how that can run on Apex Cloud Platform to kind of get you to market faster?
Absolutely. So Ansible is increasingly a really nice complementing tool. Well, it's a standalone platform in and of itself for the greatest automation that you can do. It's also a tool that you can plug in and run with OpenShift. So prompt-based engineering is a big part of what we all do now. And Ansible Lightspeed starts using those tools to create prompts to accelerate that process forward, helping guide users and making it more accessible to people that maybe aren't as familiar with Ansible, aren't as familiar with the scripting that goes in behind Ansible, and really powers that approach forward. So you get a much better result, much faster, using AI enhanced tooling behind the scenes to get that prompt-based engineering benefits delivered to your Ansible developer. So that's kind of really where that accelerates the capability in your organization. It reduces a lot of that risk of really going down the wrong path. It gets you pointed in the right direction quickly. I should also mention that with Ansible, and since we're talking a little bit about not only the AI side of it, but also the virtualization side of it, Ansible becomes some really interesting tooling to pair in with large migrations or very complex virtual VM migrations that are coming into that space. So all of those tools, that portfolio, it gives you a suite of alternatives to plug in and accelerate those options for what you're dealing with in your very complex organizations.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. Levi, I know I know there's some possible AI work you've been doing in your labs and team. I don't know if you want to take the next few minutes to go into a little bit about what Kyndryl's bringing to the table and what you guys have in the works.
You bet. So timely question for us. Specifically within the organization that I work within, which is kind of the hybrid private cloud environment, but we stretch out to public. We have public with us as well. We operate in a squad model. So we will focus on compute and store. We will focus on distributed cloud, container platforms, et cetera, virtualization. And we just spun up an AI squad that is strictly focused on AI. Now, we're trying to help our clients wrap their minds around where they can use it, how they can effectively use it. And, Kevin and I were chatting yesterday on a different call, and, what is the value when you start to deploy a concept? This is really a concept where, offerings will fit into to create the concept. Where's the value to our clients when we have these conversations? Well, the value is, simplicity, ease of deployment, making the entity more intelligent about how it goes about its business. And in doing all of that, somehow or another, I should be lessening the cost of what it takes to operate the business. And when I do that, I should be able to allow them to focus on their core competencies, which should enhance or grow their revenue stream. And somewhere in between, this is the conversation we have with our clients, somewhere in between there, that should represent the viability of your business. I've lowered your cost, I've enhanced your revenue, or allowed you to enhance your revenue. And in deploying this specific concept up against the backdrop of what we talked about earlier, which is, we have lesser resources, both financial and human, that are available to us right now. As can you help us, Kyndryl? Yes, we can help you. Once we make sense of that, and then we kind of help deploy this concept and help them make sense of the concept. It was like when data was the new gold, right? Data was the new oil. Everyone wanted to know, how do I collect all my data, and then what do I do with it? This is that next level of that. We've gotten all that part sorted out. We know where your data is. Now let's make use of it in a really good time. Again, lowering your cost, enhancing your ability to service your client or enhance your revenue. And in between is a viable business. So inside of Kyndryl, we have taken a lot of focus in two areas here recently: AI, as well as hybrid. Anything that has the word cloud on it, from on-prem out to public, really means hybrid, because no Fortune 100 or Fortune 500 company, save for very, very few, are exclusively one or the other. Therefore, they're all hybrid, and they're all trying to wrap their minds around AI and how to deploy it and make the most out of it inside of their companies, versus what you saw, say, 5 or 6 years ago, where there were memos going around inside of companies saying, under no circumstances shall you use AI. That is not the case today. It's how do we use AI to enhance our day-to-day functions and enhance what we're trying to accomplish, so that we can focus on our core mission as a company and serve our clients better. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. And that's how we advise our clients to help them help themselves in the process.
Well, that's great. It's exciting to see the transformation that customers are going on. We're coming up to the tail end here. Travis, love to open it up for last comments for you. Anything from the Dell and the Apex Cloud platform side?
We're going to, pretty soon we're going to have our announced new releases in September. I know there's a Elevate group meeting. I believe, I think David will talk about it, but we'll have some more announcements. But this program, Dell is really committed to this platform, and we'll keep adding new features, release after releases, so that we make sure address your needs. So anytime that if you feel like you have any special requests on the platform, any feedback you can give it to us, it'll really help us to basically draft the roadmap so that we can build a product fit your needs. So
awesome. Kevin?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to all of you for taking some time out of your day. Thanks to our partners for the amazing partnership that we have. I hope this helps demystify just a little bit that you can make a step in this direction and then scale it. It's hard to be wrong with this choice because you can run so many different kinds of workloads on it. So it's an easy space to start with a little, scale a lot over time as you gain the confidence and foundation under you as those pieces move. So excited to see where we go as we keep accelerating the joint capabilities amongst us.
Awesome. And before we pass it back to the Elevate team, just again, thanks to the sponsors. Thanks for everyone taking the time to join us today. Just to double click into it again, September, we're super excited. There's going to be more coming out. And we're going to continue to bring this to y'all. David, with that, ball's yours.
Jake, thanks. And panel, thank you very much. This is a fantastic conversation. Folks, if you joined in the middle, it's available on demand. If you have people on your team who you wish were on this call and were able to listen to it, don't worry, it'll be available on demand. We'll push this out there to you. Levi, thank you very much. Kevin, thank you very much. Travis, thank you very much. Jake, great to see you, and thank you for moderating. Thank you all for attending. I'd like to do a final thank of our sponsors. Thank you, Red Hat, Intel, and Dell Technologies for, again, making this possible. Go out there, spread the word about the user group. We'd love to have more people join. And we know that there's a lot going on. One of the best ways to get through these tumultuous times is to talk to other people who are going through the same thing as you. And that's what the Elevate user group is. It really tries to bring to everybody. So spread the word, get involved, and enjoy and look forward to some of these announcements coming. I know we can't talk about them now, but it'll be fun to circle back in a little bit. Thanks all. And Jenny, thank you very much. I think Jenny's got a survey in there for you. Any members on who are here, there's our next in-person event is going to be in Las Vegas, Monday Monday of August 26th. So if you're in Las Vegas in August, Monday the 26th, look at the website, join, swing by, and talk to some folks in person. Thanks all. We'll see you again soon. Be well.
Thanks so much.